Here's a P-47, an interesting World War II airplane, 17,500 pounds gross. I got it at about 11,500. I've kind of civilianized it. No bombs, half tanks, and a fun airplane to fly. It'll be different than a lot of airplanes you'll fly, the modern ones today anyway. You gotta get up on your booster seat to have a look over the top. It's a tail dragger, and that makes for visibility issues. S turns when you taxi and leaning from side to side. Make sure you're not going to run into anybody and don't taxi too fast. Let's get it started. We'll first of all set the parking brake. And then let's find the master switch. And now we got to go ahead and turn on the generator. We'll turn on the boost pump. From there, we will prime the engine. Let's go ahead and prime it. Shoot some fuel into a cylinder or two. Open the cowl flaps. That helps cool the engine when you're running around on the ground slowly. There they are, right there. Now, let's see. I need to mixture full rich, prop high RPM, mags both. Oops, I got to do that mixture again. Hold the switch, the starter switch, and let it start. Fire it up. Now what you want to do now is check out the RPM and oil pressure and such. Bring it up to about a 700-800 RPM idle. If you let it idle too slowly, in about a minute it will load up and quit on you. So we got it at a decent idle. Now let's do this while we're sitting here. We'll drop the flaps. We're just going to check and make sure they're working okay. And they should be coming down. They come down kind of slowly. They come up kind of slowly too, but anyway. While that's happening, let's go ahead and check the mags. I brought up a special window on that. I'm going to advance the RPM to 1500. And at that point, we're going to check the right mag. Turn it just on the right mag. And note any RPM drop. Looks good. Go back to both. And we'll check the left mag. That looks good too. We'll go back to both on those. So the mags check out alright. The engine looks like it's behaving well on both. Let's wiggle the flight controls. This is very important actually. You want to make sure you don't have any control locks on. Let's bring the flaps back up. And on takeoff, no flaps were recommended under normal conditions. Now, what we'll do is turn on the lights. I got the position lights on, and to avoid being shot down by any farmer in Indiana, we'll turn on the recognition lights. And then we'll flip the avionics on. And let's just go ahead and double check the fuel. We're on the center tank. And it looks like we've got fuel. Decent amount. What we're going to do, we're going to do a scan of the instruments, just make sure that they're all pretty much in the normal position, so we won't have any surprises on takeoff or at any point during the flight. Now, what we're going to do is trim. We're going to put in some right rudder, about 3 degrees on this thing. Let me tell you, on takeoff, with this R2800 engine, it's a powerful engine, a lot of torque. Let's go ahead and trim nose up about 2 degrees. And it's looking good. And from there, what are we going to do? We can look around. Make sure the flaps are continuing to come up, which they are. And I think we're getting to the point where we're able to do something else here. Namely, probably take a look over to the right, make sure there's no traffic. I've got all the traffic turned off here. I'm not going to use the radio right now because, quite frankly, I don't want to. Normally you would. We're going to advance the throttle smoothly, get lined up on the runway, keep the runway located on both sides of you, get the tail up, and that immediately solves your visibility problem. I'm going to bring it off at about 140. Book says you can bring it off at 110. Folks, I've tried it, and it's a little bit smushy at that time. I'm at 53 inches of mercury. I'm going to bring that back down to about 45 inches and continue the climb. Airspeed's about 150 miles an hour. Close the cowl flaps. We don't need those at this point. The engine's running nicely and nice and cool. And kind of enjoy the scenery as we make a gentle turn.